So I started this YouTube channel originally because we were having puppies. I never had a litter of puppies before. When I actually got Stormy, she did not come from a great situation. They told me she was spayed and like up to date on all her vaccinations and everything. But I knew and understood that this family really they wanted to get rid of her. And they said that if I didn't take Stormy, that she would end up going to the pound the next day. And when I first met Stormy, I had an instant connection with her, so I took her home. Right after I got Stormy, I had moved out of my apartment, and she moved in with me and my boyfriend about 3 months later. And he only had one unneutered male dog. He had 3 male dogs when I moved in, and only one wasn't neutered, which is the puppy's father, which is Lobo. And we found out she wasn't pregnant because my boyfriend saw that his dog and Stormy were stuck together, and we got her tested and she was pregnant. And we knew from the beginning that we were going to keep every single one of these puppies no matter what. Like, we knew that from birth until they pass away, we were going to have all these dogs, and we were so okay with that. They were born on Christmas Eve, which I was like, these are blessings. These are special babies. Like, they're basically Christmas babies. And so we were really happy and excited. And Lobo was just an amazing dad. So on July 10th of this year, Jonathan and I went to Tractor Supply to buy food for the puppies, and I had a background check done because I was going to start a caregiving job in the next couple of weeks. But when we got home from Tractor Supply and doing my fingerprinting, the house was on fire. Like, Jonathan was like, holy fuck, like, there was smoke coming out of the house, and obviously it's the summer. We don't obviously have the chimney going, or we didn't have anything like that. And he freaked out, and everything in that moment just felt slow, like him unlocking the door. And once he unlocked the door, a huge amount of smoke came out of the house. I mean, thick white smoke, and he was freaking out, and so was I. And the first one he pulled out was Lobo. He was laying by the door, and he was already passed away. And then he pulled out Rocky, which is our other adult dog, and he was passed away. And then he pulled out Leela and Thor, and they were also passed away. And I thought all of them were dead in that moment. I was freaking out. I was on the phone with the operator, and I was freaking out. I was like, are you sending someone? Like, are you sure you're sending someone? Because, like, I have dogs in there, and I already knew 4 were dead. I already had, when I was on the phone with the operator, I had walked a little bit up the driveway, so that they could hear me better. So I did not know to the extent of how many dogs had passed away. So the fire department shows up. There's about 2 fire trucks that showed up. And when they did, they were able to recover 3 more dogs from the house. Jonathan got out Millie and Gambit, which are our 2 other puppies, and they were breathing, and he pulled out Theo, which is our other adult pit bull dog. He was the other male, and he was alive, but he was on the ground, and he wasn't breathing well. So what ended up happening after they had recovered the dogs is we were holding the dogs on oxygen tanks that they would use for humans while we were waiting for a pet ambulance to come. And the closest vet ambulance, like pet emergency near us, was 45 minutes away. So they took 3 of our puppies and Theo, so 4 of our dogs, were transported 45 minutes away to be looked at for their injuries of their lungs. And so 4 were already dead on the scene at this point, and we had 4 of our dogs that were in the hospital. So we go there that night, and they're basically telling us, like, only one of them's gonna make it. Like, they were like, if you want to keep them overnight on oxygen, it's gonna be $8,000 per dog a night. And they might not even make it. So we had to put down Millie and Gambit and Theo at the hospital, which was very hard. And it's honestly still very hard for me to process those deaths, because I feel like they could have lived, and I just feel so terrible that we had to put them down. But Doobie was also in the hospital, and we were able to take her home. So we had 12 dogs, 4 adult dogs and 8 puppies, and we lost 7 of our dogs. We had 4 pass away on July 10th, and then we had to put down, like, the other 3 on the 11th. It was like 2 in the morning, and I felt so bad, because I really didn't want to let them go at all. But this is a very hard situation. It's a situation I never been in before, and I knew that their lungs weren't doing good. They weren't acting like themselves. It's just really hard to see them like that. But now we only have 5 out of the 12 because we had a house fire. And we actually haven't been living at that house. It has to be completely renovated and everything. But that is why there is not many recent videos on the other 7 dogs.